If you're looking for the best list to pull whenever you're virtually wholesaling, you won't have to look any further because I'm going to give you my top 3 lists that can work if you're a one-person operation or if you have a small team that's growing. Let's get into it. Now, the very first list that I pull whenever I go into a new virtual market is a vacant property list. That is a distress list. And the reason why I say those are the first lists that I pull is because you don't really have to learn the process of a vacant property, like how you have to learn the process of a pre-foreclosure list or a tax delinquent. Only thing you need to know is that the property is vacant and it's in whatever condition that it's in, and you need to get it under contract at the right price. Now, the situations that you may run into whenever dealing with a vacant property list that may be a hassle to you is if you have a vacant property that may have a squatter inside, because most of the time buyers may not want to have to deal with squatters in the property. They're going to want the squatter to actually vacate the property before they leave. So you may have to do something such as offer the squatter some money out of your wholesale profits to get them out of the property, or maybe you have the funds up front to where you can get them out of the property. But that's one issue you might run into. And the type of motivation that you might run into on this list is a seller may have this property sitting there and it's not bringing in any income. It may have a mortgage on it that they're paying, or they may have to just be paying the taxes on it every single month. And like I said before, it's just not bringing in any income and they want to get rid of the property. So that's why I say this is an ideal list to go after, because it can be levels of motivation where you can jump right on soon as you skip trace the data in the new market that you're in. There are so many ways that you can pull vacant property lists, but my number one way to pull vacant property lists is using a service such as PropStream. And they have filters inside of there where you can filter out what type of vacant properties you want to go after. You may want to filter out properties that have been recently purchased for someone, or properties that's on the MLS that may be vacant, because obviously those are properties that's in the process of being sold to a retail buyer because it's fully renovated. So those are some things that you want to verify, but you can pull this list on PropStream. You can pull 10,000 vacant properties in different markets if you want to for $97 per month. And you also get a 7-day free trial, so feel free to check my link out down below. Now, the pros of going after a vacant property list is once you get the property under contract, if you're in a virtual market, you can easily get a lockbox. You can get the seller to put a lockbox on the property, or you can use an app that I've used in the past that's known as Thumbtack to get someone to put the lockbox on the property. And I know you're probably wondering, well, how could I get the keys to this property if the seller is in a virtual market? It's just so many different ways. You can hire somebody off of Thumbtack to meet with the seller, and you can let the seller know that's somebody that is on your team that will take pictures of the property, and they can leave the keys with the seller if they're willing to. But it's just way more convenient whenever you're dealing with a vacant property, because you're able to put that lockbox on the property and get the buyers in at whatever time they need to go into the property. So that's one pro of actually going after a vacant property list. Now, if you're enjoying the content so far, please hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, because that's going to show YouTube that this content is valuable, and they're going to push it out to a larger audience so we can continue to grow here on the channel. And also leave a comment down below letting me know what lists have been working great for you in your business. Now let's get back into the video. Now, the next list that I would recommend is to build a driving for dollars list in your virtual market. I know you're probably like, how in the world can we do that if this is going to be a virtual market to us? We can't drive over there. Of course you can't. But what you can do, you can hire drivers in these virtual markets to build lists for you. You can hire multiple drivers to get this done. And if you want to, you can use an app such as the Deal Machine app. And if you pay $89, I believe you get up to 5 users, and each one of those users can be in your virtual markets, building a list in the zip codes that you already researched, and you know that cash buyers are buying in that area. Not only that, with that app, you can track their routes to make sure that they're actually doing what they're supposed to do. And there's also a timer inside the app too to let you know how long they've been driving around. And that just makes sure that they're out doing what they're actually telling you that they're doing. Now, the reason why I recommend building a driving for dollars list in whatever virtual market that you go in is because if you ever went driving for dollars before and you actually use an app such as the Deal Machine app, whenever you click on the property that you're currently in front of and and you notice that it's a vacant property, but in the app it may say owner occupied, then you know a lot of wholesalers or investors are not talking to these sellers because it's not going to show up on a vacant list, even though you can eye it and see that it's actually vacant. So building a driving for dollars list in your virtual market is definitely something that you should consider, and it's definitely something that you can do if you're looking to build teams in virtual markets. Now, the pros of building a driving for dollars list is you're building your own unique list. You're not pulling lists outside of PropStream or other softwares like I said before. And another pro is you can hire drivers in your virtual market. Now, the cons of driving for dollars in a virtual market is it may take a lot more time to build a list of 1,000 records than it would take you going into a software such as PropStream. But of course, the more drivers that you have in a particular area, the quicker you'll be able to get more leads in. But from a starting point, it's just the fact that you're building a unique list for your company. Now, the third list that will be crucial, especially if you're in the process of building a small team in your wholesaling business, is an absentee owner list in your virtual market. You can have so many different types of motivation on this list because number one, you're going to be dealing with a landlord that can possibly have problem tenants in place. They can possibly be in pre-foreclosure. They can have tax delinquent. They can have so many different levels of motivation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they will have those levels of motivation. So the reason why this list is also vital to your business whenever building a team is because there is a lot of absentee owner data out here. Compared to distress lists where you may be able to pull 500 pre-foreclosures or 200 vacant properties, absentee owners, you may be able to pull 10, 15, 20,000 records in one area. And if you're bringing on a cold caller in your wholesaling business, having an absentee list for your cold caller that's dialing for 8 hours a day is crucial because you don't want them to be running out of data. Another great thing is this particular list, you can pull this list inside of PropStream too. And like I said, I have PropStream link below, so feel free to check it out if you're looking to build an absentee owner list. Now let's get into the pros, which I mentioned before. The pros of pulling this type of list is it's going to be more absentee owner data in your market than any other list that you try to pull. Another pro is this can be a list that can always be bringing you in leads because you have a large selection of this type of data. Now, the cons of this list, like I said before, you may have a lot of absentee owners, but there may not be as much motivation as it would be on distress lists. So please keep that in mind. Now, if you're looking for a video that's going to help you get your first deal whenever you're wholesaling real estate, feel free to check out my video here, and I'll see you next time.